everybody. If you wouldn't mind, I'm going to start by asking you to close your eyes and envision a scene with me. The scene is, it's the beginning of summer, it's morning, you're laying in the bottom bunk of a bunk bed in a cabin full of other campers getting ready to start their day and start off with breakfast so that they can fuel up for a fun afternoon of horseback riding, tennis, basketball, playing in the lake, who knows. But they'll also be doing some cooking classes with a dietitian and be meeting with a licensed therapist to discuss healthy self-esteem behaviors. This is the present American weight loss camps for children. So today I'll be giving you a brief understanding of what these camps look like, the intention of them, and the goals. To do that, we'll be talking about the first camp that was ever established solely for the purpose of having the children lose weight. Then I'll be going over the brief itinerary of what a day in the life at one of these camps would look like. And lastly, I'll be talking about the reasoning behind the goals and methods of the practices at these camps. So first, the very first weight loss camp that was ever established was established by Penny Parkos and John Spargo in 1995 in Cape Cod. It was called Camp Seaside, and it's the most documented weight loss camp that there is, even though it was the first because it was one of the only camps at that time run by actual medical officials. So Dr. Pecos was a dietitian and Spargo was a pediatrician. So together they kind of created the groundwork and what would follow the model of future weight loss camps. Because of the time it was established, it was right when specialty camps were taking off and also childhood obesity rates were trending. So when they established it, very, very shortly they started to rise in popularity, and by the 1980s there were 88 camps. So they were very, very trendy, very popular, and there wasn't a ton of information at the time regarding how they should look. So they kind of all had different structures, which brings us to how they're established today in a much more established sense. So the typical agenda today revolves around healthy meals, educational classes, and therapy based on self-esteem issues, as well as fun, physically active activities. So the healthy meals is a really large component because every meal is designed with intention at weight loss camps. They have the goal of providing low-fat meals to a wide group. So it's not like each camper gets their own meal, if that would be too much to accommodate for. So they do one meal based in protein and in veggies. So very low fat, not a lot of sugars or carbs on their plates here. Then our next point is the educational classes. So this isn't so much in a school setting, but more so taking a cooking class with your friends, learning recipes that you can make when you go home. And then the therapy focused on self-esteem development. Obesity in children is correlated with very poor self-esteem issues for children. So they try to kind of hone in on that and build up these skills as a preventative measure before the kids go home back to real life when they're not around kids that are suffering from the same issues as them. Lastly, the activities kids do day to day varies. Camp Pembroke and Camp Pocono Trails are two very, very popular camps, and they are long established, and they do all sorts of activities every day. They do Zumba classes, they do tennis, they do talent shows, they have weight rooms, pool parties, everything you can imagine, but they just try to focus on a few high-intensity cardio activities a day just to keep the kids moving. So, to understand the goals of such camps, now that we have the agenda, we can understand that these classes they're taking develop long-term habits for them. They can use these recipes in the future The therapy sessions are teaching them behaviors and self-reflective attitudes they can use in the future. And creating a routine is very helpful for children. The National Obesity Journal reports that children that have a routine are able to create longer lasting, healthier lifestyle choices versus if they were never to go to one of these camps. And yeah, the goals and the intentions of them are purely to help the child in transformational ways, and that is the total. So what I would say to you before we close is imagine that you are just waking up again. You remember that feeling of camp. Now also imagine that your kid that's suffering from extreme self-esteem issues, also body issues like their health is low. Is this an effective strategy, sending your child away for 8 weeks to focus at summer camp, a place that's supposed to be fun, a good solution? Would you yourself like to attend one of these? And thank you.
All right.